Welcome back to Community Pink Room. I am Kiara Armstrong, and this is Series 2, Episode 4, Choosing Company Wisely. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. You really have to be choosing your company wisely out here, or you will get affected mentally, emotionally, spiritually. This is an important topic. It's something that I've learned over the past few years. The past maybe 5, 6, 7 years is to choose company wisely. Besides the fact that when you are around someone, you kind of gain their habits, you gain their language, you listen to their music, you start to do certain things just because the other person does it, which is not bad, but it's just know if you're around someone who is not with the best intentions for themselves and the best intentions for you, then you're going to be adapting to ways that aren't the best for you, period. So I just want to talk about your space. Your space is a sacred space, and it needs to be looked after very well. These are just the topics that I'm going to be discussing. If you feel like your well-being is set aside for fellow others, you are probably in the zone of siding your vibration. That's a big one. And who uplifts you, who is there for you, who provides wisdom, who shows the respect for your space, who helps you in social environments, who is having your best interests in heart, that's probably someone you want to be around. And if that person be you, then that's all you need. Who you surround yourself with becomes, in a way, a part of you, is what I briefly discussed. And friends of friends is important. So it's like, say I had a friend, and that friend had another friend. Those relationships also are important. It's not people want to say, you just focus on the relationship that you have with that one person, but that person's extended friend is part of your friendship, let's just say, because how that person and that other person treat it, at the same time, it's mind your own business, but at the same time, it's how that person treats your friend, and then your friend comes and treats you, it all in a way is a cycle. So it's mind your business, do your thing, but at the same time, it's watch out for friends of friends. Because they have an influence on your mind, on your friend's mind, on your friend's mentality. Sometimes depends. Not everyone's like that, but there's a lot of people that do have an influence on their friend's mind, and then that friend can have an effect on you. And you don't have to be a people pleaser. If you can't express your truth, then sit that one out. Don't force yourself to be with anybody who is not your vibration, who you don't resonate with, who you don't feel is looking out for your best interests. Focus on who loves you and will respect you. So I wanted to go back to your space is a sacred space and needs to be looked well after. It is true. And this has come from me. I'm a lion. I'm a Leo. I don't know if you guys still hear those sirens. And me, as I was saying, I'm a Leo, I'm a lion, I'm fiery, I am extroverted, I have introvert tendencies as well. I am very, I am so sensitive inside, but it's not you don't get that part of me. But it's you can see that I'm sensitive even through my fiery lion. You can see my intentions. So when I'm with other people, I find myself losing my space sometimes, losing kind of my sanctuary is getting, I wonder what is going on with that siren, because the sanctuary is supposed to be a safe place, a healing place, growth place, all that type of stuff, and I find that sometimes I let certain things get in that shouldn't be there, and so I've learned to take care of my space. Take care of this sanctuary that I created within myself, because this is the place where I can be myself, where I know where everything is. I know, the ups and downs. I know when it's raining, how to take care of it. It's I know this sacred space within me is so important, and I've learned to take care of that. If you don't have a space, create one, honestly, whether that be somewhere in your room, whether that be somewhere outside on this earth. Just create a space that is sacred to you, and whether that just be in your own heart, like just create that and nourish it and take care of it, and don't let just any other thing to get in there, and don't let any other which person to tell you to sell your sanctuary or get rid of your sanctuary, or that your sanctuary is not real life. No one has says these things to me, but really take care of it. It's important. And how this ties in with choosing company wisely is because there's company that you might meet that will maybe try and deteriorate your sanctuary, or bring their projections onto your sanctuary that you have all crystal clear and that you have working for you. And so you have to choose your company wisely. Now, when you're walking in the street or when you're walking wherever and you meet someone and they're kind of just projecting that on you, and it's like someone who you met outside, it's just by fluke that this happened. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are and who will be close to you, who might have your cell phone number, who might have your email, who might be contacting you daily or every other day. Those are what I'm meaning by choosing company wisely, whether that be family, extended friends, extended anyone. Really choose your company wisely. And now a lot of people won't do this. A lot of people will not do this. They will suffer to the bone. They will they don't want to drop nobody. They don't want to do nothing like that. And honestly, if that's feeding you your soul, then okay. And I think that's why I don't say just drop people. That's not my projection. That's not what I'm saying. My thing is everybody has to work on themselves. So let's say there's two people, and say one is being toxic, or one is not honoring the other person's sanctuary, the other person's sacred space. That person has to work on themselves as much as this other person who has the sanctuary has to work on themselves. It's a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work to get people to be influenced to change for the better, because certain individuals have cooped up 20 years, have cooped up 10 years, have cooped up 5 years of just problems that they haven't worked through within themselves. Their own sanctuary is quite there's a lot of dirt, cobwebs, there's a lot of darkness, there isn't a lot of windows, their sanctuary, whatever the place may be, is not quite upkept. And so to influence that on someone is the best that you can probably do, and eventually maybe even help them down the road. That's very nice. If you feel like your well-being is being set aside for others, you are probably in the zone of citing your vibration. I've been there. I feel like in relationships I've set myself aside a bit, and that is like setting my real self aside and then giving them myself but 50%. That's not fair to anybody, but it's hard because in this world it's just like there's like at least where I live, there's like a certain demeanor, a certain way to talk, a certain way to do certain things, and then the only time that I feel, well, not now, but like the only time that would feel best to be my whole self is around people who are self-expressive themselves. But we don't have time for that. We can't wait for a blue moon. Like, you have to be yourself as often as you can, fully and presently, always. And I know that's very hard in this world, but it is a must. Or else you are just not allowing yourself to live fully and to your fullest and highest potential. Who uplifts you and who is there for you, who provides wisdom and shows respect for your space. Like, this type of person I need. I have people who do this for me in life, but I would love this as like a partner, you know, like this is what you want, and this is why I have myself, and this is why I love myself, because I do these things for myself. But if you don't do them for yourself, start too slowly. But also, if the people around you aren't doing this for you, then you have to choose. You have to choose if you want them as your company, and is having them as your company the wisest thing for you, because you will be affected on the long-term scale. If you don't say, hey, this person affects me to the point where I'm not able to be myself, which being myself allows me to be healthy, active, and so on, then you need to decide whether that person should be of your company. It doesn't have to be left in name calling. It doesn't have to be left in Sometimes it's easier said than done. Sometimes things are really complicated with human feelings. But try your best to explain that this is just how I feel, and I'm trying to honor my feeling more. I hope you understand. Be as genuine as you can, and that should be enough for you. And whomever can't accept it, then they couldn't accept you the other way, so don't expect too much. However, just know that everyone has their own battles to face, and we're not trying to diss anybody. And it's just super important to have that around you, have that in some type of form. And it's funny because even if you're seeking wisdom and you're seeking someone who's there for you and someone who uplifts you, say that person eventually down the road becomes someone who confuses your mentality, someone who has left you feeling stranded. That's an interesting one, because at the end of the day, that's why I always try to influence getting better for yourself on your own, in a way, getting to know yourself. And that's why in I believe series 1, episode 1, Becoming Alive, like, tune into your reality, really get to know who you are, why your life is doing certain things, what you want to create, and so forth and so on, so that you can make these times easier. You know what I mean? Come on at community.tm Instagram page and follow some of the 3-minute guided meditations, so that you can become more in tune, get your mind aligned with your heart, and that will help you to be who you need to be onwards. I said here, who you surround yourself with becomes in a way part of you. You may pick up how you start to talk the same, yes, and react the same, and choosing company that matches your vibration is super important. Now for me, I choose my company. I choose my company wisely. And so I know that if I work on myself, I will attract, and if I be myself, then I will attract 10 different people who are really amazing, and then I'll have like 10 friends all around the world, or wherever, all around the town. So everyone has a right to choose who they want in their life, and that's just how I do it, and that's what I mean by choosing company wisely. It's very hard to let go of some people, for sure. You want people to be how you want them to be, and when they're not that, you get really sad and you don't want to lose them. But you always have to choose. You always have to be like, okay, I get it. Like, this person could have been, but this person right now in their journey is not who I need them to be. So I'm not trying to leave them in the dirt. And that's why I do the meditations, is because I did not just wake up one day and have all this clarity. I definitely wired myself to understand these things and realize how important it is for my life to have these tools, to have this wisdom, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's just what I have to say really about choosing company wisely. People are getting better. People are working on themselves every day. I love when I see people working on themselves. I love when they come back a year from now and they're like, hey, and you see how they are. I love that. So everyone can change. Some people choose not to change. Honor that. If they want to, they'll definitely be attracted back into your life, and you will have that conversation in order to both get better. You can just choose. For you, you have to choose how you want your company to be, what makes you feel good. What type of people do you need around? Who do you need to be? And I think that's the greatest thing that you can probably do. You just have to take time. A lot of it is taking out time for yourself, right? If you're busy, you can still have those moments where you can just think about your life, but you have to take the time out for yourself. And that's the biggest thing, is that you need to take that time out, because I've taken out multitude of hours, multitude of moments, multitude of days and months and years of just questioning. Probably majority of my year is just solving through all this stuff, and then the other 30% is living life. Anyways, I think you guys get the point. You guys are beautiful and you guys are shining, and if you have any other questions, just send me a DM or email me at community.tm, and you can find my email underneath the highlight contact. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for listening.